All right, this is a review of the EnviroKlenz air filter. You can see this is the UV model. I do not recommend getting this model, and here's why. You can see where the VOC filter is. It's up above these UV lights which shine on the HEPA filter there. Now the problem is that there's a gap here. This gap is between the back of the unit and the back of the VOC filter. And I don't know if you can read this, but it's about 1¼ inches. So that's a 1¼ inch air gap where the air can effectively flow around the VOC filter and avoid being filtered. So now if you let me go ahead and put this the back panel back in here so you can see. It goes the other way. So you see that at the bottom there's a switch, a little switch. This panel, when it slides down, it engages the switch, so it allows the light in the filter to turn on. Now you can clearly see right there? You see there's a huge air gap between the VOC filter and the back panel. And then the other issue is, now it's on. I don't know if you can see this because it's daytime, so it's a little bit bright. But if you look down there, can you see the blue light? That blue light is coming from the UV lamps. Okay, so let me lift this up again. And so you see the UV lamps are here, and you see there's this nice white filter and shiny metal and sides and everything. So the UV lights are coming on and reflecting off of all of that. So if I engage this, see how it goes on? See, the whole area there is full of light, right? So it reflects off of all of these surfaces and then shines back up through the vent. So because this of this huge gap, the light is free to shine up through the vent here and on the sides. So if you think that you might be sensitive to UV light, and obviously because it's being used to sterilize, it disrupts chromosomes and stuff, so it's really not good for you. You shouldn't be exposed to this long term. The company claims that this is not blue UV light, but I don't know, does that look blue to you? Sure does, right? So I don't see how, just because it's reflecting off of another surface, how it's magically changing from ultraviolet to something else. It's not. That's not how physics works necessarily. And certainly metal, a very shiny surface, it can definitely reflect ultraviolet light, to my knowledge, unless it was kind of reddish colored. Usually, something that looks white, it reflects pretty equally, or something that looks silver, it reflects pretty equally in a wide, spectrum. You could see that the UV lights had reflectors on them, in back of them, that were made of shiny metal, and obviously the purpose of that was to reflect the UV light. So why would you think that it could work to reflect the light on that piece of metal, but not the other metal that's in this thing? So I'm telling you, whether they want to admit it or not, this thing does leak ultraviolet light, and furthermore, the air is free to flow right down the back of the unit into the HEPA filter bypassing the volatile organic compound filter entirely because of the 1¼ inch gap that this thing has. Now, this is not a problem with their standard unit that doesn't have that gap. This is the ultraviolet model. That's why the gap is present. So you can see this is, it's more expensive, but it probably doesn't work as well, and it exposes you to ultraviolet light. All the testing they've done on this, I'm sure, was done with the standard unit without, with just going through the VOC filter on top of the HEPA filter. That cannot bypass the VOC filter because the gap is not present. So those test results look good, but those test results are not applicable to this model. This model is designed differently. It has a design flaw, and therefore you shouldn't buy it. Okay. I hope that that it's clear to you what I'm talking about. And I'm going to try to return this through Amazon. I hate doing it. It's a huge, big unit. Don't want to return it, but I don't really feel I have any choice because, it's not really, it's not, they certainly didn't warn me about this before I bought it. So, okay, now you know, so don't buy it. Thanks, bye.